people. And if you're watching live, checking us out on YouTube, or listening on your favorite podcast provider, you are most definitely my people. Welcome to another episode of Botched, Bots, and Chair Shots, and tonight is the Season 3 debut! I'm your host, a chef by trade and a mark by choice. I am the Will Gray, and joining me tonight is the shaman of ShElite. She is the host of Inside the Mind of Storytime with Katie Kinsey, baby. Inside the Mind of, she is co-host of the #1 podcast on Pornhub, Smacking It All. She is Katie Kinsey, baby. Katie, welcome back. Twice in 1 week. You're pretty much a regular now. You're the honorary ooze of Botched, Bots, and Chair Shots.
Hola, señor.
Hola. For some reason, that threw me off. We were literally just talking about speaking Spanish, and you said one word, and I was like, wait, what?
I said two. I said, hola, señor.
See? And I'm already confused. And joining us, making her Rivet City Radio and Botched, Bots, and Chair Shots debut, she is the co-host of the ShElite Showcase, host of the New Japan Takeover. We like her as much as she likes the Young Bucks. She is Savanna Y2 Garcia. Savanna, welcome. How are you?
What's up, Will? Thank you for having me. Super excited to do this.
I'm glad we could work this out, and we got both of you here to take over the show. The two of you together, and the next person I'm about to introduce, pretty much just going to have the show once I get through a couple housekeeping things. And back with me, she is still perched upon her iron throne in the boss bitch's corner. She is the Beyonce to my Hova. She is the Bonnie to my Clyde. She is the boss bitch, Miss Allison. Al, how are you?
I'm super duper.
Did you have a good week?
That's a really loaded question. I had a week.
We're not going to get into that. I'm sure we will, but we're not going to yet.
No,
Before we get rolling, I have to do a couple housekeeping notes. Because we do that kind of stuff here now. Special announcement for tomorrow night. Those in the chat taking note, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have the unpinned Southern States champion joining us from CCW. He is the Violent Gentleman, Miles Blackwell. He will be returning to the show. Then on Tuesday, we have the debut episode of Nerdy News at 4:20. We'll be breaking down video game and nerd news at everybody's favorite time of day. Then on Saturday, March 18th at 8 p.m. Central Time, it's the new world order of podcasting as Rivet City Radio and the Geeks and Noob Network present World Championship Wreckage, a weekly interactive stream breaking down WCW history where the listeners and people in the chat vote on the topics as they happen. But ladies, here we are. It comes to the big question of the night. I always start the same way every night. Savanna, Katie, what has you pissed off for greatness this week in the world of professional wrestling?
Ooh. Katie, do you want to start or do you want me to go first?
That's up to you, darling. You're new here.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. Okay, so something that has pissed me off this week is not exactly the people involved, but the people behind the scenes, and that has to do with the TNT Championship over at AEW. I absolutely hate how that poor title is being abused. You know, nothing against the wrestlers involved. You know, nothing against Hobbs, Samoa Joe, Wardlow. That's usually the main three that's kind of like going in the moment. That's kind of like the most recent champions, which like even then is like in the span of a week, all three of them have been the champion. It's just, again, I'm so frustrated with how this title is being treated. You know, I've seen the memes all over Twitter. People are calling it the next 24/7 title, which, I mean, at this point it is. That title is changing hands faster than John Cena changes shirt colors. Like, it went by so fast from champion to champion. And I think it's honestly losing its value. So I'm hoping now that Hobbs has the title, and, you know, Hobbs is a really dominant ass dude. He's called the Powerhouse. Let's see if we'll finally get a nice, long, lengthy reign with this title, because I'm honestly finished with that title. Like, just retire it at this point. Like, you know, put it out of its misery. You know, it's just way overused at this point with the amount of champions and title changes it's had in the. When was it even brought up? In 2020? So it's only been 3 years.
Yep.
So many reigns. And we talked about this on our show, Katie, how it's had double the reigns compared to the AEW champion, like the World Type Championship. It has had double the reigns, or at least almost double the reigns.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Matt Ward brings up a question. Do we think that the TNT title is like the black and gold title? Because a lot of times the people who held that title have had injury or have had reasons to need to vacate it. Do we think that the history of the TNT title being the hot potato title is because it's got a history of Cody getting COVID, and there were a few other times where it's been kind of moved around some because of injury? Do we think it's some of that, or we think it's just a hot potato at this point?
I think it's a little bit of both, because like the Cody example is a good one, but you didn't have to have Cody lose the title. You could have just not had that match, period.
I think that was the worst use of the interim title for sure.
Exactly. That's where it all got started. That's like the COVID of titles, the interim shit that started with Cody having COVID and not being able to defend the TNT title. They should have just not had a title match or an interim title match. Dusty and Sammy should have just had a number one contenders match. Like, winner gets to go face Cody instead of giving the title or giving an interim champion. Because he came back like 2 weeks later. It's not like he was injured.
No. Not even 2 weeks. Baby girl. All week.
Yeah, it was like 9
1 week
days.
later.
Yeah.
Oh my god, even worse. That's even worse. And then, it wasn't like CM Punk who was like, or Thunder Rosa who was like legitimately injured and needed to go get healed, but you still wanted them as the champ. It was a lot, the dude had COVID. He was out for, again, now like 9 days.
And it wasn't even early COVID where you had to be out 15 or 16 or 18 days. No. It was towards the end where they were like, go home, take some medicine, we'll see you in 3 to 5, Yeah,
and that's the thing. That's like the only one, because like if we're talking injuries, I feel like that's happened more with other titles, not so much the TNT Championship. Like, I don't know why Darby is like a 2-time champ. Sammy Guevara is a 3-time champ. So I don't think they've had to lose the title due to injury or vacate the title. I think Cody's the only one who's had to do this interim crap, if I remember correctly. But again, that TNT title's had so many reigns, it's hard to keep track.
Katie, what has you pissed off for greatness this week in pro wrestling?
Okay, so I kind of talked about it on SmackDown Raw. The fact that people are mad at John Cena, quote unquote, burying Austin Theory in a promo. Austin Theory is a little bitch anyway, so that's fine. B, Cena does it with everybody. He did it with The Rock. He did it with Roman. He has done it with everybody. And it's a sink or swim moment. And he even said, you beat me, you lose everything. Because then you have to come out here the next night to the most heinous crowd ever. The crowd that wouldn't let Roman Reigns talk for 10 minutes after he beat Undertaker at WrestleMania, mind you. I hate the NWC 99% of the time because of this shit. Just let it happen.
I think people wanted John Cena to bury Adam, or it was not Adam Cole. I don't know why I went to Adam Cole.
He's right here.
I completely had a brain fart. Austin Theory, the A's threw me off. It was almost expected. Like, we had to have that happen for this match to make sense because he's done it to everybody. So the whole burying of the opponent with John Cena happens every year at WrestleMania because he's still one of the greatest talkers to ever do it.
Yeah, like it's literally every time he's in a big feud like this. I mean, he probably did it with AJ. Like I said, Kevin Owens, like, he does it with everybody. Like, it's just what he does because it gives that other talent the opportunity to rise to the occasion or tread in the water and die because they can't hold their own against John Cena.
Yep, completely agree. Miss Siegel? What has you pissed off for greatness this week?
My mother, and everyone's mother, always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
Yep. So, I'm going to remind the members of the wrestling community that they should remember that also. And I'm going to pass it to you, Mr. Gray.
Very cordial of you.
That was very, very political and very well done.
I know.
I commend you. I originally had this whole thing written out, and I'm going to be completely honest. I think it sums it up by just saying legal jiu-jitsu is far more fun than actual jiu-jitsu. So I'll see you in fucking court. But, Al, I'm going to send it up to you now in news and rumors.
This is great. I love being in the know.
So, I do want to start news and rumors out by wishing our deepest condolences to Arn Anderson's family as they mourn the passing of their son Barrett. So I just wanted to start out this show with, sending our thoughts to them during this time. So, moving on. My first news and rumors is specifically meant to stir up Savanna.
Right off the rip.
Right off the rip. As the Elite come into free agency, rumors are WWE is interested in signing all three of them.
Savannah, thoughts?
Thoughts?
Feelings, opinions?
I don't know if I should fully share my thoughts. I think it would take too long.
We have the E for a reason, and we have all the time in the world, because until tomorrow, we're still the only show on this network.
That's why after tomorrow, I still don't think that's it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I've seen this a lot. Honestly, nothing against the WWE. I still watch it. I still enjoy it. I'm excited as fuck for WrestleMania. Always am. But I just don't think it's for them. I don't know. Wherever, honestly, at the end of the day, wherever they go, wherever they sign, I will still support them. I will still love them. I will still, have their back, because I defend the Elite with all my might, However, I just feel like they would lose a lot of themselves if they went to WWE. The whole point of AEW is to show, look, you can be a success story without having to step foot in the WWE. I know Kenny Omega's a little different because technically he did have a run, but they cut him before he could really show his true potential. And, he said it in an interview that WWE was the place, during his short run, they made him feel like wrestling was probably not for him. That he got these feelings of doubt. And honestly, that breaks my heart, because if you don't have to like him, I don't fucking care if you like him or not. But he's had some of the best matches in wrestling. I know everyone talks about the matches he's had with Okada. He's had incredible matches in Japan, in the United States, in Mexico. He's done a lot. And I can't help but think, what could have been or what wouldn't have been had he listened to those thoughts that were telling him, maybe this wasn't for me. I'm glad he found himself somewhere else. And now he went with his best friends, because there was rumors in 2019, that he was going to sign with the WWE, show up at the Rumble, kind of have an AJ Styles moment. But, he took the leap of faith with his closest friends. They're basically family to him. And now knowing that this passion project that they basically worked on together, is the fact that they could be leaving it is just heartbreaking to me, more than anything, because they wanted to change the world. They didn't want to go to war with anyone. They didn't want to oh, we're better than you and we're gonna prove it. No, they just wanted to do something. They wanted to change the landscape of wrestling and give wrestlers a chance to show who they are without needing to step into the WWE. Because before the AEW, everyone really had this thought that, if you didn't go to WWE, you're not like a legit wrestler. They didn't really, they always discounted them, and I didn't think that was fair because even before AEW, you know, I watched New Japan, I watched Ring of Honor, and there was really good wrestlers, really good matches, and you know, they didn't have to be in the WWE, but I feel like AEW is a little bit more of an opportunity now, and so the fact that they could be leaving is just.
They're not gonna leave.
I know, but just the thought of it is just, and I hate people are like, well, they're gonna do it, and like they're gonna be like Cody, and I'm like, no, here's the difference. Here's the difference. This was not Cody's project. He didn't decide he was gonna be a part of it until after he saw the success of All In. Dude was thinking of returning to WWE before then. So, no, like, and I agree. I have my thoughts are leaning more towards they're gonna either stay or retire at this point. I think that's honestly they're one of the two choices, because everyone thinks that either Cody did it. Some people think, oh, it's because of Jericho that it's a success. No, it's not. You know, Tony Khan went to Matt Jackson specifically, and the rest is history. That's where the seeds were planted. So if you think otherwise, you're fucking wrong.
Do you not look forward to the WWE debut of Kenneth Omicron and the middle-aged antelopes or whatever they'll call themselves over there?
Middle-aged antelopes.
No, but I do. That does remind me. People do give the Bucks shit because like they're not young. I'm like, well, they were at some point. That's just their fucking tag team name. Like,
I mean, comparatively to a lot of the other guys, they still are young.
They're younger than me, so that's young in my opinion.
How old are you, Will?
I'm 37.
Okay, you're younger than one, older than one. Matt's turning 38 tomorrow, and Nick is 35? 34?
My thing is that there's not room for them in WWE. Like
WWE,
well, yeah, WWE has like a fuck ton of unnecessary tag teams that just hang out and do nothing because the Usos hold both belts. So there's literally nothing for all these dumb tag teams to do.
Well, yeah, that's a very good point. That's another thing with WWE. They don't give a shit about the tag division compared to the singles. Absolutely not. Kenny Omega might thrive. I know I've heard the rumors in 2019. He'll get the AJ treatment. It's fine. But how long before they I think you would honestly have a run like Asuka, be super dominant in the beginning and then completely wasted as the years go on, and then at some point, if he hadn't left by then, he'll need like some sort of rebirth.
I mean, what has AJ really done in the last year? I mean, he was stuck with Omos. Yeah, he was stuck with Omos for a while. Then he's, in the OC but got hurt. It's just like they haven't really done a whole lot with him.
Yeah, I still want that one reign. I've told Katie, I'm like, Katie, he needs to win the Rumble or Money in the Bank, one or the other. Like, just give it to me. He needs, he needs to have, he's almost done it all. But those are two of the things he's yet to do in the WWE, and both of them could be very good for him. They could push him to where I believe he deserves. He's a very, dare I say, phenomenal wrestler.
No, boo.
Katie, let me ask you a question playing off of Allison's first news and rumor then. Did AEW with Tony Khan and the Elite and Cody Rhodes and everybody that was part of All Elite Wrestling starting, whether the Elite stays or leaves, did AEW start a big enough fire to show WWE's not as far in a lead as we thought they were? Because AEW has been able to gain so much ground in 4 years, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Okay. I feel like they have enough stars that are not elite-centered to hold their own still. I mean, MJF is your champion. He is the biggest piece of shit that there is. Everyone's favorite rat bastard, as I call him. I mean, you have him as your champion. The American Dragon, who knows what... I'm sorry. The All-American Nightmare Dragon, Jake Long, Bryan Danielson. He's to be determined where he actually goes. He could go back to Ring of Honor. And that's another thing, too, is that they have Ring of Honor kind of as a back burner. Because, I mean, let's be real. They're all the same fucking roster. It happens. That's just what it is at this point. But I feel like you have enough star potential or the possibility of star potential that AEW is going to be fine.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Al, before we get to your next one, can I knock one off my list?
Yep.
Okay, this ties into Savannah's Pissed Off for Greatness, and two people in the chat, Justin on YouTube and Bree on Twitch, have both kind of tied it in. Justin said the TNT title has basically been cursed. We need to call a preacher and exorcise the demon. And Bree says what has her pissed off for greatness is Wardlow holding the belt for 3 days. So my news, the one I just wrote down 3 words. I wrote down hot potato title because I was gonna see what you guys thought about it. Savanna, since that was what had you pissed off for greatness, I'm gonna let Katie lead this off. Katie, what are your opinions about the way the TNT title's getting booked? Do you think it's cursed? Should Wardlow have been bypassed? Did he need a 3-day title reign at all? Did it do any good to get him hot and then immediately pour cold water right back on top of him with losing the title 3 days later? Like, where are we at with all this nonsense?
There's a lot of questions rolled into one. Let me see if I can do this. Wardlow should have never lost the title to Samoa Joe back months ago, whenever that was. Samoa Joe was fine. He didn't need the TNT title. He was still the king of television. Whatever. Could have had that. Nice, solid run for Wardlow. Few-month reign. Bada bing, bada boom. Crowd loves War Daddy, as we all should.
Great tag team.
What?
It was a great tag team.
Wardlow was a great tag team.
Yeah.
And then, you could have had the break. You had the breakup. That's fine. You could have had that. You didn't need Samoa Joe to win the title of Wardlow. Like, Wardlow could have won that match. Had him. You can have him feud with Samoa Joe this entire time. That's fine. Throw a little other people here and there in there. That's okay. You could have had the match at Revolution with Wardlow retaining, and then if you wanted to have Powerhouse Hobbs win on Wednesday, that would have been fine because Wardlow would have had a lengthy reign. It's bullshit. He should have never lost the title the first time. But I'm not 3-time Booker of the Year, so what the fuck do I know? All I know is that interim bullshit should have never fucking started because Cody got COVID, and I've been saying this from the jump. That started a whole bunch of shenanigans for all these titles because they were like, well, Cody's our TNT champion. He can't defend at Battle of the Belts. What are we gonna do? Oh, Tony Khan. Oh, I watch Real Sports. Let's fuck you. Stupid. And then you had to go through the whole thing with the women's title and Thunder Rosa getting injured and then Toni Storm being the interim champion. People being pissed about that, as they should have been, because she was the champion. Thunder Rosa was gone, injured, off the shelf. Same thing with Punk. We didn't need an interim champion. It's all Tony Khan's fault. He started all this bullshit with this interim stuff. It's all his fault. I'm mad. Wardlow should have never lost, but I want good things for Powerhouse Hobbs because I do love Hobbs. So I hope he does get that lengthy reign.
Agreed. Matt says, I think Hobbs should have won the title in the triple threat between Joe and Wardlow.
I would have accepted that too.
That would have been fine. I think any of the 3 men could have been great champions for long term. I don't think Joe needed to hold 2 belts as long as he did, though. At all. Sure didn't need to hold belts.
Well, it's the fact that he won the belt off Wardlow, and then Darby won it off of him, and then Samoa Joe won it back off of him 3 weeks later, not even.
Justin on YouTube says if AEW is going to put the title on Hobbs, and they should have used the golden butthole at Revolution and won, and that would have at least taken out Wednesday.
That's what we were saying too. Have Hobbs cash in the golden butthole at Revolution, bada bing, bada boom, Hobbs becomes champ.
Yeah.
Savannah,
No.
Do you think AEW could adapt or should adapt a rule like what the NWA used to use, where if a champion can't defend a title within 30 days, that's when a call for vacation is needed and they have to get rid of the belt? Or do you think, like with this interim, do you think that could be a good fix to the interim argument, is if they just adapted that rule?
Honestly, I think it could work because especially I know WWE would do that for everyone except Brock Lesnar. And I honestly think it's a fair, I think it's a fair deal. Like, you defend it, or if you can't, or if you don't, then you get the belts taken off you. I think it's a little different when it's international. Like if you're a champion for another company, maybe it's a little different. But again, it's at least once a month. So I mean, I think that would be a fix to the interim stuff. I know like with New Japan, what they do is that if you're scheduled for a match, so let's say you're scheduled to defend your title, and for some reason you can't make it, you're immediately stripped. Like they don't give a fuck. They're like, yeah, okay, well, we'll crown someone new. You tried. And, that kind of reminded me, now that we're on the topic of, the TNT title, I don't think the title's cursed. I think it's just poorly booked. If you want to talk about a cursed title, look no further than the IWGP US title. That title has been fucking cursed like almost all of last year. It was vacated so many times because someone was sick, someone was injured, someone had appendicitis, someone, that title was fucking cursed. And I think that's a little different because someone couldn't defend it. It wasn't that it was booked to be lost. It was you couldn't defend it because of an injury, because of an illness, something else. So I think the 30-day thing is probably is it a foolproof fix? Probably not. But I think it is better than doing the whole interim shit because that could be forever, and I don't think anyone wants to call someone an interim champion for like 6 months and be like, oh, well, we still got to wait on the champion to come back or else until then it's interim. Like, for all we know, that could be 6 years. Like, what if, someone got severely injured and just couldn't defend their title for 6 years? Are we going to do that for 6 years? No, I would hope not. So I think the 30-day rule is probably a good, alternative to the interim shit. Because, again, like Katie and I would talk about, it pissed us off after a while. Like the first time, okay, maybe I get it. But even then, the fact that the first time they ever did this was with Cody, and again, he defended the title like the week after, it was completely unnecessary. With CM Punk, a little bit more understandable. It's your world champion, you want him to have a good long reign. You want to protect the belt and its value. But then dude just kept getting fucking injured.
As I said, it's his own damn fault. He jumped in the crowd. Broke his foot.
Trust me,
his own damn fault.
Trust me, I fucking know that. Trust me, I know that.
Yeah, I know. Take it easy down there. Take it
easy. Yeah, down here in Texas. I'll take it easy. But yeah, so I think it's definitely a good alternative to the interim shit because no one wants to fuck with that anymore. No one.
Nope.
Al, what's next on your list?
Next on my list, Angelo Dawkins says that he and Montez will never turn on each other.
Good. Don't.
You're not a fan of them breaking up, Katie?
No. It's the same thing with the New Day. Do not break them up. These tag teams are just too perfect together. You can be like the New Day and have one person kind of have their moment. Big E, Kofi. Xavier Woods still needs his, and I will stand by that until the day I die. Anyway, same. Exactly. But, the Street Profits have that ability where Montez got the shine in the chamber. And Dawkins will have his time to shine, too. But they're still a tag team. You guys were saying that the tag team division is abysmal, big word, in WWE. And that's true.
Whoa.
But people being like, oh, break up the Street Profits. Y'all bitch and complain that the tag division's dead and gone. Why break up one of the only good tag teams?
So they can sign the middle-aged antelopes.
No!
Here's the thing about
They'll sign the middle-aged antelopes, and then, freaking, I can't think of names at the moment, but, I'll just use the Generation Me freaking names. Max will turn on Jeremy in, 6 weeks, and then they'll both do singles, they'll feud for 2 months, and then be off television for, a year.
Also, Savanna, I did wear a Bullet Club shirt tonight for you.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
That's the only one I got. But
my shrines right here. It's cool. I wore the Young Buck shirt just for you, Will.
Good.
The tag division in WWE, the established tag teams, fine. But it's the the bullshit tag teams that irritate the piss out of me.
And that's understandable. They got to do something.
Sometimes I feel like it works. Like I liked like Cesaro and Sheamus. They eventually became the Bar. I think that was a good use of like two singles wrestlers, throw them in a tag team. But then you have something like Natalya and Tamina, where it's like there's nothing there, other than the fact that like they are there because of their fathers. Maybe that's where their connection comes from, but like it just didn't work. And honestly, that's probably my least favorite tag title reign for the women. Because it was very, like, just talk about random. Like, it was random.
Pretty sure Charlotte and Asuka were champions, so I don't want to hear anything.
Oh, that's even worse. I forgot about that.
I don't want to hear shit about those tag titles. I'm mad.
I think that's the quintessential example of how abysmal a tag division can be when you say that Charlotte Flair and Asuka were the tag champions.
Yeah. I hate it here.
Moving right along. So I know this has been talked about today, so we can just touch on it for a minute. But people are pretty upset about MJF throwing a drink on a fan at Revolution. A child fan. A child fan.
A child. Now, it's one of those things where if it was water, a little more understandable. If it was tequila, big no-no. Big no-no. We talked about this.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I was going to say, Will and I just talked about this on Friday with Matt. Like, MJF is a rat. I literally called him a rat bastard for a reason. He is a scumbag.
I was there.
Through and through. To his soul. It's just what Max does. I don't know. The whole situation is shitty. If I was the mom, I would have thrown hands regardless because, like, don't come near my child. But that's just me. Yeah, hands would be thrown. I'd be escorted out the building. It's fine. But, like, and the kid got to go backstage after and meet Hobbs and a few other people.
He got all kinds of swag.
I'm pretty sure he got tickets to the Sacramento show. So, like, it didn't need to happen. We'll put that disclaimer out there. Like, Max didn't have to throw a drink on a child. At all, in any retrospect. But the reward that the kid got for dealing with Maxwell Jacob Friedman's shittiness was, I think, worth it.
Savanna, you're devil's advocate.
Yeah, also, devil's advocate can... I forgot to plug in my laptop, and my cord's, like, right there.
Go get your cord!
Yeah.
Go!
Okay, I don't want to...
Never... My child, ladies and gentlemen.
No, everybody switch places real quick, so she's real confused.
No, okay. I'll still play devil's advocate. I just needed to grab my bag really quick. I just got a notification that's like, your laptop's at 4%, and it's going to die and turn off if you don't plug it in. So I'm like, shit, I don't want to just do it. I don't want to... But anyways, yes, I'm devil's advocate. Here's the thing. I do think it's bad. I'm not saying that, first of all, I don't think the kid deserved it. I think the kid's in the right for being upset, same with the mom. But here's the thing. A couple things I wanted to note. Number one, like, I'm sorry, but if you are sitting ringside, you're already at a risk. So, I mean, second, MJF didn't know it was tequila. I'm not saying it makes it any better or it's completely justified, but I mean, like, the fact that people think, well, it was tequila. I'm like, dude, I don't think, like, how is he supposed to know? It's not like beer where, like, you see the freaking color and the bubbles and stuff, or it was like soda where you see, like, the dark brown color. Like, it was, like, I'm pretty sure, even for MJF, if he knew that it was tequila, maybe he would have held back. Maybe he'd have, like, just smacked it out of the mom's hand or something. Like, he would have still done something, like, to be a scumbag. But, like, I don't know if he would have gone to that extent if he knew it was tequila. Like, first of all, I don't even think he would have thrown it at the kid. I don't think he would have thrown it at the kid if he had known. And that brings me to my next point. That's just MJF. I'm sorry. That's just who he is. He reminds me a lot about South Park. South Park holds no limits. There's no barrier. There's no line. They don't think that they've gone too far. They spare nobody. So if you spare one person or one section or one group, then other people are going to complain, and then you're going to feel obligated or even pushed to do the same with others. It's a domino effect. So I think MJF's like the South Park of wrestling. He holds no barrier. There's no limit to what he will do to draw controversy or to draw hate. That's just who he fucking is. The dude doesn't break character no matter what. So, I mean, I don't know what, honestly, people expected. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it at the kid. Maybe he should have thrown it at somebody else, even if it was like the kid's mom's drink. But honestly, I don't think it's wrong of him only because, well, not that it's wrong of him. That sounds bad. But I don't think he holds any barriers. And I guess now we know kids aren't an exception for him. Like, they aren't an exception. He's not going to hold back just because you're a kid. He's like South Park. He doesn't give a shit what your race is, what your religion is, what religion you follow, what if your skin color. He doesn't care what your gender. He's going to fuck with you no matter what. So either accept it or don't. You can hate him, but that's the goal. So he's achieving his goal anyway.
Right.
Things I did not expect on the show. MJF to be compared to South Park.
MJF is the modern loose cannon Brian Pillman. Is Matt's 2 cents from the
that's
chat.
That's how I see him. Like, he holds no limit. There's no one he's gonna spare.
Sitting front row at a wrestling show, like, you do have to assume some sort of risk. Like, GCW is being sued right now. Willow, actually, that was on Smacking It Raw, is suing GCW because I guess a wrestler had a cigar in his hand during a match.
Yeah, and he fucking burned her.
And he burned her. It wasn't on purpose. It was an accident. But, like, is it... No. It's like, if you go, especially going to, like, a GCW show, like, you know what those matches are like. So, like, do you assume some sort of risk upon your person sitting front row?
I feel like they give you warnings also. Like, warning, you might, like, even at baseball games, they tell you, like, if you're sitting, like, right there, like, you know, by the dugout and stuff, you're at a risk of getting hit by a broken bat. They give you a warning, and I'm pretty sure at wrestling shows they do the same. And if they don't, maybe they should start doing that. But again, I just don't know what you expect sitting from ringside. You expected everything to go perfect? Then I'm sorry, that's on you. Like, someone's gonna run into you, someone's gonna, you know, take a spot right in front of you. It's bound to happen. It's inevitable. Especially when MJF's involved.
Right.
I talked about this recently on another show during my vacation. That we were discussing how some companies, including the likes of GCW and some of the bigger indie promotions, are putting an at own risk clause on the back of their tickets to avoid this kind of thing. So if a wrestler gets thrown over a guardrail and you get kicked in the face, like, you know, if you're in the crowd and you're right there at ringside, you have the risk of becoming part of the entertainment, so to speak. And some companies are going to this as a liability to avoid lawsuits from this type of stuff. And I mean, you're absolutely right, Savanna. They do it in hockey, where you got if you set rink and you've got glass side seats, they tell you a puck can come over and you're at risk of getting hit. In the NFL, they tell you if you set it in either end zone, you have the chance of taking a football to the face. You know, basketball's the same side. Like,
in baseball, nowhere's safe. Really.
Nowhere's safe in baseball.
True.
You can sit up there and you're like, yeah, I'm at a risk, bro.
Yeah.
Baseball? Fuck yeah, you are.
Yeah, baseball's violent, bro. You cannot be on your phone at a baseball game. You might get hit.
You can if you go to the Pirates game, because Pirates suck, but that's... I don't know.
Ow.
True.
Next thing
there's not balls.
Next thing on my list, Dragon Lee finally makes his WWE NXT in-ring debut at a house show. So he's finally got his visa issues worked out.
Yeah, he showed up at Roadblock in the crowd, and he did have his first match. I don't know much about Dragon Lee. I don't need the history breakdown again.
I was about to say, I'm not doing it again.
No, please don't. It hurt my brain last time.
It hurts my brain every time. It's like a filing cabinet drawer that I only open in case of emergency when somebody's like, who's Dragon Lee again? And I'm like, fuck, okay. And I pull out the envelope and it's like this thick and I explain his family.
Yeah. So I don't need that. That's okay. I mean, I'm excited to see what he'll do. He'll probably make some type of appearance at Stand and Deliver, or even have a match, perhaps. Who knows? That's usually what they do or used to do for takeovers. They would announce someone. Like, Yushin Thunder Liger faced Tyler Breeze at a takeover, and that was his only match in NXT kind of thing. So like Shinsuke and Sammy, that was Shinsuke's in-ring debut for NXT and WWE. So like they'll probably do something like that. If I were to guess, maybe it'll be someone who's kind of maybe on their way out of NXT, and they'll get that last, good match with someone, and then Dragon Lee will kind of just take their place, because that's typically what they do or used to do.
Yeah. Still on the topic of NXT, Roxanne Perez may be real injured, maybe not real injured. Still super unsure. She has not been on the tweeters or any social media since. But her Google and Wikipedia were updated to say that she was dead. That has since been fixed and changed back.
I would hope so.
Yeah, like when you
it was
Google
outed as a hoax, but it actually happened. The Wikipedia page was updated, and then they went through and scrubbed it and switched it back. So it was a hoax.
Yeah, I saw that they said that, and I was like, NXT literally just put out a tweet saying she's home. Yeah. So this is blasphemous that you guys are out here doing this.
Well, this was done before, like, they had put out the tweet that she was home. The only tweet that they had said is she was still in the hospital at the time, and there had been, like, no update, no nothing, and so somebody thought it would be funny to go in and say that she was dead.
Humanity.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of conspiracies around Wikipedia pages getting changed and updated on or around the time of people's deaths, and that's another conversation for another episode.
No conspiracy theories.
When can I do the conspiracy theories, guys?
I told you to talk to TC.
Okay. All right, I'll figure it out. Savanna, you got any conspiracy theories you hold any water with?
Like in wrestling or in general?
In general.
Or wrestling, whichever.
Yeah.
Or wrestling.
I'm like... conspiracy theory. Okay. Okay. I'm honestly, like, I'm like 85% joking. Okay, 95% joking. But it's because I've told Katie this story that I think I said it on the show too. Okay. So I went to All Out last year, and I was at FanFest with my best friend Brooke, and we were kind of like in the back by ourselves, just kind of chatting. And we were talking about Kenny Omega and how much we love him and stuff. And I talked about how, we love like his legs and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I want to bite his thighs, dude. Like, I would like to bite his thighs. And then next day, All Out happens, media scrum, brawl out, and Kenny gets bit. Conspiracy theory is Ace Steel was hearing me somewhere. Yeah, Ace Steel heard me somewhere, got the idea, and he bit Kenny because of me, because I said that I wanted to bite his thighs, which I meant out of love. I didn't mean to hurt him.
He didn't bite him in the thigh, though, thankfully. If he bit him in the thigh, that's a whole other conversation that was happening at backstage.
What the fuck was happening in that locker room if Kenny Omega was be able to get bitten on the thigh?
Yeah, no, you got bit on the arm. There was even like a bruise when he was in Japan. Like,
I remember seeing that on the press conference.
Yeah. But, so wrestling conspiracy theory is I'm the influence. I influenced Ace Steel to bite Kenny because it just so happened to be like 24 hours prior. I was talking about how much I want to bite Kenny's thighs. So that's still biting Kenny. And then he gets bit the next night. But with me, it was out of love. I would never hurt Kenny like that. It would just be a little like, nah.
I'm going to clip this and make it sound like you're explaining how you bit Kenny Omega.
I bit Kenny's.
I'm gonna clip it to where it sounds like you're telling a story about biting Kenny Omega's leg.
Oh no, I don't want to be Ace Steel. Have you seen that picture of him that goes around? The one that people photo
edited?
Yeah, the people photo edited him to have shark teeth.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I would totally do it out of love, though. Never for harm. I would never intend to hurt Kenny.
Al, I got one.
Okie dokie.
Okay. A few days ago, after the Iron Man match at Revolution and the absolute beatdown between MJF and Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson rather. The American Dragon. What's his name, Katie? Say it all for me.
The All-American Nightmare Dragon, Jake Long, Bryan Danielson.
Says time to go home. Is he talking about maybe going back to Ring of Honor, or is he talking about a second retirement?
I think he should just stay at home. This man has gone through a lot. I think he just chill at home with Bree and the kids. But I did see a lot of people speculating it could be Ring of Honor. Honestly, maybe that's what Ring of Honor needs to get people to actually pay attention to it. If that be the case, so be it. But I know Samoa Joe's got like challengers for his title and Claudio and Kingston, like, so I don't know. I personally think Bryan has taken enough abuse in like the 2 years he's been in AEW, so maybe it might be time to tag it up, Bryan.
Maybe.
Savanna, what you think?
I can kind of see where Katie's coming from. Maybe it is time to, pack the faux leather boots because, vegan. Because, I'm not vegan. He is. There's no way I could be vegan in fucking Texas. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, does that exist in Texas?
no, I was gonna say it shouldn't. At least,
Vegans eat
especially
chicken in Texas.
especially in El Paso, where you border Mexico, so you have like Texas and Mexico. There's no way you can be vegan. Absolutely not. Not even just with meat. I'm talking about like cheese, eggs, everything. But despite that, yeah. So maybe he could go home, but not permanently. Maybe he could just take a nice break, get the vacation that Mox has still yet to get, and then come back, and then maybe go to Ring of Honor, which is like his home because that's where he built himself. Which that would be a good idea. I think Katie's onto something when she says maybe that would be like the spark Ring of Honor needs to get people to watch. If I'm gonna be honest, that still wouldn't get me to watch.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna watch. Like, it would get more people to watch.
It could get others to watch. Yeah, it would be cool to kind of see, Claudio versus Bryan at some point. Maybe for the title.
BBC versus BBC, cool.
Yeah. So, but I do not think it should be like a retirement. I think he just needs a break because I don't think there's like. He should retire again, like from wrestling, without holding gold at least once. Okay, like I think he needs to hold some sort of gold just for a little bit, not like like the TNT title for like 10 days, but like a few months. Give him a title for a few months. Won't be the end of the world. Like from one pay-per-view to the next, maybe do that. But I don't think he's I don't think now is the time for him to retire. I don't know. I feel like he should be the one of the few to go down, in a retirement match where you really like gave it your all, and you're the reason why you are retired is because it's kind of beyond your control. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what that Iron Man match was. What are you talking about?
It wasn't labeled a retirement match, Katie, but it would have been.
We
cool.
don't know.
It could be. I wouldn't be mad about it if it was.
But it wasn't like announced or like booked that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like,
right.
It wasn't like
AEW
Shawn Michaels and Undertaker
does weird shit all the time. So like
I
we
know,
are,
but
would be really
Tony Khan is also a fanboy, so you know what? Let him do a few retirement matches here and there.
If he was really a fanboy, what he would do is have Bryan Danielson, I was gonna do the whole thing, but I don't feel like it. Come back out to the ring in a few weeks or whatever, and have him retire in the ring like he did the first time in WWE. If he's a true fanboy, do it that way.
I mean, that's one way to do it. He should have just taken off Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. Fuck, same difference. Should have just taken off. He should have just taken off one boot and then left it in the ring and then just left.
I'm kind of thinking about it, but not really. I haven't decided yet. I'm on the edge.
Just leave a shoestring.
Maybe.
I was trying to make fun of Cody when he did that bullshit.
That made no sense. One, I said that was super disrespectful. For him to put the boots in the ring and pretend to retire when it wasn't his plan.
Thank you. Especially, I'm like, dude, you just fucking started and you're young, and I know this ain't it for you because you're so egotistical. You ain't going nowhere, especially not like that.
Yeah.
So, second of all, that's like such a disrespect to someone like The Undertaker who did that. Unless you're The Undertaker or like Sting, who's had a long
Triple H
career,
did it last WrestleMania.
Yeah. Until you have like a long, fulfilling career, like shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Hey, take it easy. Relax. We're not talking about Cody right now.
No, don't take it easy. Ah!
No, like, Katie, what is it that you called me in my intro? The fire-breathing, Rhodes family-eating spice of life? This is my moment. You cannot do that shit.
This is your moment. You get this moment any chance I talk about Cody on our show.
Savannah, will you do me a favor?
What's up?
Will you say the word fuck for me one time?
Do it.
Why? I need to...
For no particular reason. I don't think I've ever heard you say it, and I want my show to be the first time I hear it. Just one time.
I said it a few times.
She says it on the show all the time.
Has she? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, then I don't ever remember. I don't ever remember hearing you say it, and that's a big one.
Say it.
I just said it when I said if you think that the Young Bucks weren't the ones who started AEW, you're fucking wrong.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. See, there it is.
She's subtle about it. I'm more aggressive about it.
I use cuss words like commas, so I don't even think about cussing.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good, but
It is what it is.
Fuck do I know?
Let's go. What's up, Self-Bet? Thanks for stopping in, Bubba. Al, what's next on your list?
WWE has announced that the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, will take on Maximum Male Models on Raw on Monday. Also rumored, Johnny Gargano will be teaming up with Dexter Lumis against the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio.
Boo. Fuck a bitch named Dominic.
Mark Gallows and Carl Anderson are gonna be back, I guess.
Did you call him Mark Gallows?
Yeah, Mark?
Luke
Gallows? Who the fuck is Mark Gallows?
Mark, Luke. They're the same.
Generic white dude name here.
Kyle Gallows.
Kyle Gallows. The middle-aged antelopes.
God.
These would be the old antelopes.
I love the OC. For the end of year awards from podcasts that don't matter, the Maximum Male Models won the Botch Spots and Chair Shots award for worst gimmick of the year. I'm not a fan of anything they've done, so I hope the OC goes in there, and I hope that they're the APA, and I hope that Maximum Male Models are Public Enemy in this analogy, and I hope they just go out there and just wipe the floor with them.
That'll probably happen. Maybe that means AJ's coming back soon. Then if they're finally putting them back on TV,
start warming them up some.
I see a Ginger Ninja creeping in the chat.
Look, WWE's coming to El Paso literally the day before my birthday. I would love to see AJ there. So,
what's up, Jackspo? There he is. I would love to see AJ back. I've said for a long time that I think AJ deserves one more good run. And I think Rumble 2024 to WrestleMania and him kind of building for that one good run is what AJ deserves.
Oh, you think he should be Cody is what you're saying? Because I fully agree.
How dare you?
Cody won this Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be... By next year, nobody will like Cody anymore. He'll do something to screw it up in the next 60 to 90 days.
As soon as he gets the belt, everyone will hate him again, so it's fine.
Look,
because the fans are fickle. That's why.
History's gonna repeat itself. He's gonna have like 30 million figures in like 4 weeks. And then he's gonna be booked to win every single fucking thing. He's gonna have like pyro like he's just won at WrestleMania every single entrance he gets. Yeah, there you go. He's gonna be double that. And then next thing you know, I want like come September, he's gonna throw his back belt into the crowd and it's gonna be thrown right back at him. And
you know they're selling those weight belts now.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Of course they are. This is the company who incorporated a doll into the TV show just so they could have a doll for merch.
Well, I mean,
but like the Cody Rhodes, the neck tattoos, like the fake tattoos, that's funny. That like if you got me those, I would totally as a joke, I would put it on my neck and be like, yeah.
That's tempting. I might get it free for your birthday. We'll see.
If that's the only thing you get me for my birthday, Katie, I will be kind of offended.
I'm gonna send a whole bunch of them. Just so you constantly walk around with a neck tattoo.
Look, here's the thing. If you say, because you say a whole bunch, if I take your word for it and you actually do it, I will do a sleeve of just the Cody Rhodes tattoo.
Let's figure out how to make this happen. Chat, let's figure out how to make this happen. Let's buy a bunch of fake Cody Rhodes tattoos so we can fill Savannah's arms up with Cody Rhodes sleeves.
I just need a sleeve. Just one sleeve. Or do you want both sleeves? Oh my god, my mom would
No,
be so cool.
that's too many. That's too many.
Just put them everywhere. Just
on my neck. Like on my
collarbone. It has to go on the neck. That's a given.
Oh, that's a given, yeah. I'll do like double.
I've never understood why he put it on his neck.
Because it looks cool.
He should have put it like on his calf or something. I guess he wanted it to be seen, but I'm like, dude, now no one's ever gonna unsee it.
You know he'll never get a job again, right?
Oh darn. Oh no. What will he do?
What will he do?
He might as well just should have plastered that on his forehead. I have no idea why he did it on the neck.
He almost got the legacy symbol tattooed on his hand until Kofi Kingston told him that's a dumb fucking idea.
Thank you, Kofi. You should have talked to Kofi before getting the neck one.
He wasn't there!
I mean, I'm pretty sure he still had Kofi's contact info. Hell, all you have to do is follow each other on Instagram. And then Kofi could be like, nah, like, what do you think? Yay or nay? And you've been like,
What? Listen. Cody's the type of person where at that point he was like, go big or go home. Right there. Right on the neck. And it grows. It grows.
I think it's time to retire the Rhodes family tradition of the nappy, not toned, bleach blonde, yellow hair.
I like it better as a blonde than a brunette.
I didn't like black hair, Cody.
Black?
Yeah.
He did that for like 3 weeks. I remember that. He did it for 3 weeks. And then he went back to blonde because he was like teasing a heel turn, and then he never turned heel. So I was like, the fuck was that for anyway? And I was just like, I hope it was fake. Maybe he just had to like wash it out. But I was like, dude, imagine your poor hair if you like went black and then you bleached it again.
It's not good for the hairs.
I mean, with as short as his hair is, he's probably bleaching his roots every week.
That has to be horrible for his scalp.
That was fun.
His scalp probably sheds more than my pug's. Like, holy shit. Like, just... Oh, I hope he has something good for, like, his scalp to, like, rub in, but I can't
Yeah, I mean, with, like, dudes with really short hair like that, with bleaching it, like, yeah, he's gonna have to do it at least once a week.
Do you guys have any tattoos you regret?
I don't have any, so...
No, I like all of them.
When I do my sleeve, maybe I'll regret that. My fake sleeve.
Do you have any tattoos you regret?
No, I got it covered up.
There you go. Loophole. There you go. No, I like all mine.
Yeah.
I do want to get one at some point, but I don't want it to be a regret. I don't want to end up like on Tattoo Nightmares where they have to do cover-ups for their television show.
I covered up a wedding band.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
Different story.
I was going to say something mean.
No, it's not our show.
Not about Will. It wasn't going to be about you guys or Will or anything.
Oh, say it then. You could say it about me. I wouldn't care.
No, I wouldn't. First of all, no. I wasn't even thinking of doing that. But when you said you covered up a wedding band, I was going to say, yeah, so did Sammy Guevara.
Oh, I get it.
He could have just kept it because him and Ty got married. Like he really realistically could have.
She's been.
I don't even know if he got it tattooed on him. I don't know. But...
Yeah.
Is she injured or?
No, she like fucked up her back like years ago, and that street fight
re-aggravated a pretty major injury.
Yeah, and Anna Jay is the same way. Like she fucked up her ribs in that match.
Oh, but that was a table spot. Poor Anna Jay, man. That was completely.
That's 100% on the people who set up that table.
Oh yeah, I don't blame Willow for it, but I'm just saying that was not Anna's fault.
I know you don't. I'm just saying it to the universe so people know not to blame Willow or Anna. It was 100% the people who set that table up.
What was she supposed to do? Was Willow supposed to jump like as far as the table was? That's a far jump with carrying a whole ass person with you.
No, the problem was the table was like too close.
Oh yeah, that was the problem.
Because Willow's the one who like mainly went through. If the table would have been further back, like it should have been.
That's true. I forgot about that. It would have, it was. So what would have happened if she tried to put Anna through the table, like really tried? Her ass would have been boom right on the ramp. Willow's ass, like. Yeah. That someone was gonna get hurt anyway.
Exactly.
Al, what's next on your list?
Next on my list is on the topic of injuries. Ronda Rousey is dealing with a hairline arm fracture. That could mean she isn't a full go at Mania. Shucks.
Oh, darn. Oh, I hate to see it.
No, Mania's
I like cue the Darth
ruined.
Vader. Cue Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting two flying flux.
Nah, Rhonda.
Oh,
Damn,
no.
Rainia's just cancel Mania, postpone it, work it around the
Cancel
schedule, make it in June. Make it in June if you have to.
We'll do SummerSlam in April instead.
Yeah. We'll call it Spring Slam. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, there we go.
Allergy
No,
Slam.
I really don't
Spring
care.
Fever
I mean,
Slam.
Rhonda's a white claw of a human being. I really don't care.
You know, I wouldn't even give her White Claws. I'm going to start using, like, people being, like, the natty light of things because, like, White Claws aren't that bad. But
No, white claws are terrible.
but a natty light,
No, they're both awful. The only reason I started calling her White Claw is because I was going on some type of rant on Young Kings, and I was like going off on Ron, and I was like, she's a fucking White Claw of a human being, and they both laughed. So
I'm going to start using that. Matt also suggested calling it Spring Stampede, and on account of the WWE pretty much owns everything in the wrestling world not called Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, or AEW, yes. They probably could.
they could.
Here's a funny. So apparently, Mick Foley just confirmed this to be true on a podcast. It's been a rumor for a very long time, but it is now confirmed true that apparently the Undertaker, Mark Calloway, is afraid of cucumbers.
What?
And then you have MJF who loves pickles. I just think that the narrative.
Bro. I'm more convinced to go get those pickles MJF had than to go get Mindy's muffins or Mindy's bakery.
That's a good fucking pickle.
Yeah, my
fucking pickle.
That's a fucking good pickle.
Oh,
Dude,
what does he say? He
that-
says, Jesus Christ, that's a good fucking pickle.
Yeah, there you go. That made me. I watched that clip, and that actually made me go get up and get some pickles. I was
Dude,
like,
I took like the Careless Whisper like saxophone music, and I like slowed down all, like I clipped every clip of him like eating the fucking pickle, and I clipped together. I'll send it to you. I clipped it together and put it to that song, like him like slow eating this pickle.
Very essential eating a pickle. But I'm very curious. I mean, people are afraid of a bunch of random things. I've never heard of someone being afraid of a cucumber, so that's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to hear what Matt thinks about that information.
Yeah, I was gonna say Matt might have like a field day with that.
He probably will.
Yeah, they sometimes make the hair on his skin stand up. Apparently,
Yeah.
I love
he
cucumbers.
can't even be around a pickle. She said, let's see, every birthday his daughter gets cucumbers and puts them under his pillow. She'll put them in his car. He can't
so
even,
sweet.
we can't, let's see, he can't have one in the room. He can't smell it. Yeah.
Cucumbers don't even smell like anything.
It's because
They taste
when he
delicious.
was a kid, he ate so many cucumbers that he got super sick. And ever since then, he just can't stand
There
them.
we go. So there's
Okay,
there's
so that's the logical.
It's not just being like, cucumber, like
It's
there's-
so
there's
funny, though.
You want to know something?
reasoning.
Random will fact?
Are you also afraid of cucumbers?
No, I don't drink 7-Up for that same reason, because it reminds me of being sick when I was a kid, and when I would stay home sick with a stomach ache from school. I didn't miss a lot of school, first off. But when I did stay home, anytime I had a stomach ache, it was like ginger ale, but my mom's from the Midwest, so she gave me 7-Up instead. And when I drink 7-Up, even now as an adult, it would make me sick to my stomach, because it was like that, like Pavlov dog reaction to it. I just assumed I had a stomach ache.
That's 100%
That's-
Pavlov dog shit right there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've never. I don't know. I was like, I do agree. First of all, that is definitely one of the go-to remedies for a stomachache.
Yeah.
As a Hispanic, I would know. 7-Up, Gatorade, Vicks Vapor Rub, Caldo de Res, or Caldo. You know, if you light a candle and pray, you'll be fine.
That's candle being like.
Yeah, like literally, they sell like these Lady of Guadalupe candles at Walmart. They're like super tall, and if you light it, you pray, and boom, you heal.
This guy?
Yes, that one.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Those are like the remedies we would use. Because let's be real, no one wants to go to the doctor. SpongeBob, or dare I say Patrick, was the one who taught us why going to the doctor's maybe not the best idea.
Professor Patrick knew what he was doing.
Yeah, Dr. Professor Patrick told the horrors of what it's like going to a doctor. You sit in the waiting room, read old magazines.
It's kind of true.
That's hilarious that you would bring that up and I have one on my desk.
What?
The
candle, yeah. I didn't even
no, he's Patrick on his desk. Yes, the candle.
Patrick. I had a little Hispanic lady in my kitchen in one of my restaurants in Gatlinburg. When I got sick, we called her Tia, which means it's like calling somebody your auntie in Spanish, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder. I know that.
Well, I was talking to the ones who don't speak the language, Savanna.
Not all of us are
speakers.
Obviously, I'm talking to you here. But she brought me that candle when I was sick.
That's nice work.
Yeah. So it's been on my desk ever since.
I mean, he's good now.
If it works, it works. Honestly, though, like, if I don't know how widely available it is. Obviously, here in El Paso, it's everywhere. But if you ever have the chance to have, or even make caldo de res or caldo de pollo, honestly, you will feel, like, rejuvenated, I will say. You will feel like a new person after eating a bowl, throwing a little bit of, like, Mexican rice in it. You will feel like a new person. Like, it is the ultimate, like, comfort food. You will feel great after eating a bowl of caldo de res.
I had no idea that we were going to talk about things like Wardlow and those guys, and then we would slowly dwindle into holistic Latino medicines.
Which work! You brought up the 7-Up, and it just...
There it is. Nostalgia. Just brought it all back.
Exactly. Like, I'm not even joking. When one of us feels sick, we're like, do we have Sprite? No, let's go get a Sprite. And we always get McDonald's Sprite because it just hits different.
Oh, God. McDonald's
Sprite. Yeah, so every time we're sick, we're just like, get some Sprite. Hope for the best.
Sprite and ginger ale.
Yeah, 7-Up and ginger ale. Those were always those two.
I love ginger ale.
Shout out. What's next?
My next thing, former WWE/ECW star Francine is not happy about the use of the Queen of Extreme moniker by Liv Morgan and apparently Lita, and stated on her podcast that she filed to own the moniker many months ago because she first started using it back when she was working for Paul Heyman. She has since sent a cease and desist over to Liv Morgan and Lita to stop using it.
First and foremost, raise your hand if you actually remember Francine. Besides you, Will, you don't count.
Oh, sorry.
You know everything.
So, I'm old enough to remember ECW, though.
Well, even so, like, A, that was however long ago. B, Lita probably would have only been called Queen of Extreme when she was with Team Extreme in the early 2000s.
Corey called her that the other night on Raw.
But it was a callback to the early 2000s, though. But
and then with the Liv Morgan thing, like, Liv hasn't called herself that. That's a commentary thing. Like, that's not a cease and desist. That shouldn't be a cease and desist to Liv, like, or Lita. That should be one to just WWE themselves.
It might be just to WWE, but it's directed towards them using it for Liv and Lita.
My question is if Paul Heyman owns the intellectual properties to it anyways, because I'm pretty sure Francine didn't think of calling herself the Queen of Extreme.
She apparently trademarked it a couple months ago.
This is a cash grab. I'm calling a spade a spade. Katie's absolutely right. Nobody remembers Francine, and if they do, it's because they saw her on a sign for a meet and greet. Because the only people that remember that kind of level of ECW storylines and who she is...
Are you?
Yeah, but I'm a silly mark. Lita should have known that because she was in ECW when Francine was in there when she was Angelica, aka Miss Congeniality. Thank you, Matt. That's also my point. I think part of it's 50-50. I think Francine's just going for a cash grab to stay relevant in the news. And I also think that if it comes down to it, like I said, I think Paulie Dangerously probably owns the name before anybody does. Unless it was one of those, like, Zack Ryder things where it slipped into... what's it called, where anybody can use it again and anybody can file
right. Or technically, WWE would own it since they bought ECW.
Well, that was my point, is like that, or if it becomes
public
domain. There you go, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and even if that, like, I don't know, I think it's just stupid.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, Rey Mysterio is announced as one of the 2023 WWE Hall of Fame inductees and is set to be inducted by Conan.
Whatever.
K-Dog.
Good.
Others potentially to be included, but not announced yet. The Great Muta, Batista, Regal, Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, Demolition, IRS, and Lillian Garcia.
Lillian Garcia?
I love Lillian Garcia.
I'm not taking anything away.
She held it down. I don't think she should be in, like, this class, but, like, she should eventually go in the Hall of Fame.
If Cyndi Lauper's not in the Hall of Fame, then...
The amount of people who are not in the Hall of Fame as opposed to people who are in the Hall of Fame is absolutely fucking absurd.
Nancy Benoit.
China.
Don't even get me started on this shit. I have been on a vendetta. It took them how long to give us our first inductee? I saw it in person, so, like, that was kind of cool. But, like, I didn't expect it to be Ray. I need Dom to fuck everything up, and as he should, be a little shithead. Conan's an interesting choice. People keep memeing about it. People keep saying the first thing he's going to ask is, has anybody listened to my podcast? And if he does that, that'd be kind of funny. But whatever. It's more so the fact that like I said, I've been going on tirades about the Hall of Fame because it took you guys. We have less than a month until Mania. You've named one person. You need to have more than one woman inducted, wrestler-wise. Victoria for Hall of Fame. Put Dave in there.
Dave. Little
Dave.
Dicky.
Yeah. Little Dicky needs to go in the Hall of Fame. No, Dave Batista.
I was gonna say Meltzer.
Oh hell no!
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. Sorry.
You said Dave, so I was like, I have to do it. I have to. My intrusive thoughts were like, say it, like the evil Kermit meme. That was basically me.
Yeah, no, that's disrespectful. No, I mean, I think Ray deserves it. Maybe that means he'll actually retire, like people have been wanting him to.
I think it's shitty though that they're gonna use his induction as like a fucking storyline and a gimmick. Like,
I'm not even surprised anymore.
If it leads to a Dominic Ray match, Mask versus Career, and this is Ray's retirement match, and it leads to Dom turning on Judgment Day, then yes, I'm here for it.
I don't know.
I can see everything except that last part.
I just think it's tacky that they're doing this at a time when him and his son are feuding, and Dom's not going to be the one to induct him, because Dom should be the one to.
No, he shouldn't.
Dom's gonna beat the shit out of Conan, and Ray's not gonna get inducted. He's gonna be there to induct him.
Hell, they fucking did it with Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. Do it, people forget that. What happened at Wrestling with Ric Flair?
I forget all things Ric Flair for a multitude of reasons.
Matt did have a good point. Cyndi Lauper and Andy Kaufman. Kaufman for sure needs to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Kaufman technically wasn't on WWE TV at all, or WWF. Like, his stuff was all still in the territories.
Yeah, but...
So
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to be inducted.
This isn't the time or place for that conversation because you just told me Andy Kaufman's not supposed to be.
No, that's not what I said. I said he shouldn't be necessarily in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, you're right, Matt. You're totally right. That was with the night he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, then lost to Shawn Michaels. That was the I Love You, I'm Sorry match. Matt Ward for the clutch win. Thank you, Matt. Good call.
Now, I know there's like a general pro wrestling Hall of Fame that maybe Andy Kaufman should be inducted into, but he had nothing to do with anything. Like, he was well gone before WWF became a thing. Like, he was dead before WWF was even a thing.
No, he wasn't. Andy Kaufman, he tried to go on WWF TV bidding in a bidding war with the original senior Vince McMahon. I wrote an article about it. It was the first work shooting wrestling.
Savanna, thoughts on Rey Mysterio? I got you.
I mean, I think he deserves it. I mean, I think the circumstances, of course, like, I kind of see where people are coming from. I remember my dad texting me. He said, what the hell? He's not even retired. And I was like, I mean, but he still had, like, 20 plus years, you know, as a wrestler. I think he did that just because he's not fully retired. Doesn't mean that, like, he doesn't deserve it. Also, I do kind of agree with like what Allison was saying, that it's kind of like it's a shame that he's getting inducted while he's in a feud with his actual son. I feel like if anyone should, you know, induct Rey Mysterio, it should be his fucking son, who is taking after him and, you know, is a wrestler as well, you know. But that's all I'll really say about it. Like, as far as Conan, you know, the dude already kind of got a bad taste in my mouth after he shat on Takeshita for giving a tribute to Eddie Guerrero here in El Paso, and literally no one fucking cared here in El Paso. No one booed him. No one said, why would he do that? Like, we all loved it, but he was the one who had to take offense on behalf of I don't know who, but we liked it. We accepted it. We welcomed it. And then he tried to play it off like, oh, it was a joke. I'm like, no, dude, like, it fucking wasn't.
No,
you actually meant it. You meant it until you got backlash for it. And then all of a sudden, no, it was just a joke, just to save face. So I'm just like, eh. So
K-Dog is inducting Rey because of the connection with the split from CML to AAA. And then when Conan came to the States, he was single-handedly, you know, I would say arguably him and Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman, that triad of people are the reasons there was a luchador invasion in the 90s into the States. If it wasn't for Conan and Eric Bischoff, the guys from AAA and CMLL would have never made it to the States.
Yeah, and I'm not
so
saying
that's
that,
why
like,
Conan is inducting Rey, because he's the one that gave us Rey Mysterio.
I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm just saying I don't like him. He thinks he had the right to stand up for I don't even know what. It's not like we were all offended. Like, I was there. I'm from El Paso. That's where he did the little shimmy and he did the frog splash and everyone loved it. I don't know who the hell he was trying to like stand up for by trying to like call him out.
Matt says K-Dog's not even he's not even Mexican. He's fucking Cuban.
I mean, I won't say it. But yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not saying, he doesn't deserve it or he shouldn't do it. Because again, honestly, I think it should be Dominic. He's his son, but it doesn't help that he's fucking feuding with him at the moment. That does not help his case. I feel like, you know, if it was next year and like all their feud was done and maybe they had like reconciled or just had no affiliations with each other, maybe then it would work. But I think Dominic should be the one, but obviously it doesn't work because of they're feuding at the moment, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, it's not that I don't think Conan shouldn't do it. I just don't like him because he thinks he needs to open his mouth for something that bothered literally no one but him.
Oh, you got one more for us before?
I've got just a little jump back up to Andy Kaufman for a second. So, Andy Kaufman died May 16th, 1984.
Correct.
Memphis Wrestling was not purchased or did not close shop and like send everybody to WWE till 1997.
That wasn't the argument. You said he died before WWF was even a thing.
Well, no, I think, but like he died before he like any of his stuff would have been like
Owned by WWE?
correct.
Well,
So therefore, he does not belong in the WWE Hall of Fame because he never did anything.
I'm going to
with
go
it.
back even further, and I'm going to remind you at the beginning of the episode when I said, you remember when WWE owns fucking everything in the wrestling world? That includes the Capital Wrestling Association, which own Memphis Wrestling, which owns the Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman tapes. Checkmate!
Not checkmate.
I think what Allison is trying to say is that it's not that like they had no affiliations whatsoever, especially now that WWE owns them. But it wasn't during the time, like they had no affiliations when it happened.
Yeah.
He never stepped foot in a WWF ring, but neither did Great Muta. You know?
I never said that.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it as an example out there.
Yeah.
Like they have people in the Hall of Fame that never stepped foot in WWF.
But was Great Muta in WCW?
Yes. But he never worked in the WWF, and you just confirmed my whole argument about them owning everything. Read my Kaufman comment. Andy Kaufman technically is the innovator of sports entertainment with his storyline with Lawler. Yeah, I did a whole thing about it.
Right.
I wrote an entire article about it
he
like 6 months
belongs
ago.
in
Matt.
like the General Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, but not the WWE one because he didn't specifically on purpose contribute to WWE. That's what I'm saying. Anywho, moving on. AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery are close to a deal for a third in-ring wrestling show. The time slot will be in a historic one of Saturdays at 8:05 p.m.
Ain't nobody watching that shit.
Ain't nobody gonna watch that.
It's the Super Show! None of you guys are old enough to remember the Super Show, but Saturdays at 8:05 was always... Actually, it was 6:05 back in the day, but at least they're paying
I
homage
said
to it.
6:05.
Oh, I thought you said 8:05.
At 8:05.
Oh, my bad. 6:05. I can't read.
Okay, I thought...
Now really no one's watching that shit.
Yeah, 6:05 is the Super Show. That was the old Ted Turner thing back in the day. I'm hyped for it.
What time zone?
Eastern?
So that's
The best time
4:05.
zone?
The
4:05
future?
my time. That's crazy. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if they can make it work, good for them. But I mean, no one even watches Rampage. I don't even watch fucking Rampage.
So you're going to have two pre-taped 1-hour shows and one live 2-hour show.
And then on top of that, you still got Dark and Elevation.
So you have 4
and
hours.
Ring of Honor.
So Dark and Dark Elevation are both an hour long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rampage is an hour long. New show, TBD, is an hour long. Ring of Honor is an hour long. And we've got 2 hours of Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 7 horas para las personas en español. 7 hours of TV. And they still can't fucking book that right.
See.
See.
That says, what if the Saturday show is going to be for Ring of Honor? It may well could be.
I would love that.
That would be a lot better than doing another AEW. Again, no one watches Rampage. I'm sorry, no one does. Like,
yeah, put Ring of Honor in that 6:05 Super Show spot and have them run it like a studio show back in the day and watch how popular that becomes.
The problem is what are they going to do on weekends when they have a pay-per-view?
They can do
they
shit.
usually do them on Sundays, do they not?
Sometimes they do them on Saturdays, but they'll be competing with WWE pay-per-views.
You remember back in the day when Sunday Night Heat used to be the pre-show for an hour before the pay-per-views would start?
Vaguely.
That's what they could do here. They could use this Saturday night 6:05 show to be the pre-show and like the buy-in for All Out or whatever. And this could be the ultimate way to get eyes on the product leading up. The exact same formula that VKM used to use back in the day. And I won't say his whole name because he's a creep.
He's a piece of shit.
Well, the thing with honestly, I don't think it would interfere. Like the AEW pay-per-views don't really interfere with the WWE one. Sometimes they land on the same day, but that's usually when WWE has a pay-per-view overseas. That's the only time it's really happened. And even then, they're usually like WWE pay-per-views are towards the end of the month. AEW ones are like the beginning. Like it's rare when they like are both like in the middle.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got 2 more little things.
All right, cool.
That I think are mildly important.
Let's do it.
But don't require a lot of discussion. Jade is set to have a mystery opponent on Dynamite, and it is rumored that Taya Valkyrie will be her mystery opponent. I would love that.
That would be
I just
fucking
don't care.
awesome.
I just don't care. We know how Katie feels about Taya.
She's the current reigning Reina de Reinas champion.
Reina de Reinas.
Reina de Reina.
Champion.
De Champion.
But like, I just don't care. More so because the fact that Jade's title reign is stale.
Well, this
opinion.
could be, she may lose the title to Taya.
Matt says have Taya beat Jade.
Yeah, and then Jade can move on to go after the Women's World Championship. Whatever the fuck they call it.
I don't
I personally think that Chris Statlander should be the one that's going to belt off Jade once she is cleared. And then you can have Jade move up, because right now the title's enthralled in this Outcasts, which apparently is their actual name now, and Homegrown's feud. So
Jade has been talking shit, and he wants the Wera Loca to give her a reality check.
I think she can give her a reality check without having to beat her for the title, and I think that really means like push her to her absolute limits, to where Jade might have to pull some sketchy shit out to win. I don't think as much. I think Taya Valkyrie is a really good wrestler, and I think honestly she could give some new fire to this reign. But I don't think she should be the one to beat Jade. She's not even a member on the roster, and you have so many women on this roster that they don't even use that probably deserve. I make the same argument about Ronda Rousey, that she just came out of nowhere, wins the Rumble, wins the title. When there's so many other hardworking women. I'm not saying Taya Valkyrie isn't hardworking, but she's not even a member of the roster. There's so many women on the AEW roster.
she doesn't even go here.
She doesn't even go here. Yeah, exactly. So that there's so many other women on the roster that you could build up to beat her, and that I feel like have been waiting for their moment, and I think it would just be kind of shitty to them to give it to someone who's not even signed. And will she even sign after if she does win? I don't think so. So I think it would be a good way to really just like reignite the fire of Jade's title reign. But it'll be kind of like Jade getting kind of like a wake-up call. Like, it's not going to get any easier to win, to like retain my title. And like, she'll probably have to do something super sketchy and like messed up, like heel shit to like retain it. So that way it doesn't really hurt Taya, like, oh, really? You just brought her in to lose? Like, no, like, oh, it's because, she's the title owner or something. Something like that. But I honestly don't think she should beat Jade. I do think the reign is a little stale, but I think an AEW women's wrestler should be the one to take the belt off her. And I agree with Katie. I think it should be Statlander.
Comic Punk Guy, one of our brothers from the Geeks and Noob Squad, says Jade's not dropping the title till Statlander comes back, so he agreed with you, Katie, 100%. I think Jade needs to drop the belt. I think she's poised and ready to start the ascent as the top female heel. I don't think she's ready to be the champion yet, though. She still needs... We'll have one more person after Jamie before Jade takes the world title. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily saying whoever has the belt next will be a transitional champion by any means, but Jade's not quite ready to put the whole company on her back. We've seen that she can carry a mid-card title and stay relevant, but even now, she, like you just said, Savanna, it's starting to get a little bit stagnant, a little bit stale. So, yeah, I think that Taya can come in and put her in her place without needing to take the belt. I think Taya would look great with the TBS title, but Taya's also, she's not under contract with anybody, but she's under tour deals similar to the way Mercedes Moné is with New Japan. So she's got a deal like that similar with AAA in Mexico and MLW both. So the idea of her defending a title regularly on AEW just seems a little far-fetched right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
My last thing, this month, Big E will be getting tests done to see if he is going to be cleared to wrestle again. This will be the make or break moment for him.
Because it's been 1 year since he broke his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I pray he gets cleared. I'm praying so bad that he gets cleared. Dude, I have a feeling that he's gonna kind of have like an Adam Cole moment. You know, whether he tells us he's done or tells us that he's ready to go. And I think it's gonna happen the Raw after Mania. I feel like that's usually when a lot of big things happen.
That's when all hell breaks loose. That's that
so-
night.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
think-
obviously for the best. But
Yeah. I think that if he's not cleared, they should bring him back in some sort of like manager position or something. Like put him on TV or at least like put him in the back like as a coach, as a motivator or something. You know what I mean? Like his
I mean, you could still have him come out with New Day.
Right, exactly. Like he doesn't have to wrestle. Like I said, he could be a manager. He could be the, you know, the anti MVP.
yeah. Yeah.
I think that I read an article earlier. It was from one of the sheets quoting somebody like a Fightful, you know, one of those kind of chain things. But Big E was quoted as saying that he was good no matter what the doctors tell him because he's not done with wrestling anyways, pretty much. So he was pretty much saying even if he's not able to be an in-ring competitor, he's not leaving the sport. He'll still be here and present. He's okay no matter what they say.
Yeah.
And Matt Ward dropped that he's a scout for the next in line deal. So that already shows you right there that he's got some, you know, some scouting and stuff going on already. So I think he's going to be set up no matter what.
Facts.
All right, Al, you said that was it?
That was it.
Ladies, I appreciate you very much. This is everybody's favorite part of the episode because I don't have to say anything at all. All I do is sit here, look pretty, and let you guys plug your stuff and put yourself over. Savanna, you're the first timer. I'm going to let you go first. So plug yourself, put your things over.
Katie usually does all the work, so I don't do much. But if you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Y2Garcia_. If there's no underscore, it's not me. That mistake has been made. I'm currently in the process of uploading a new episode of my show, Like the Fuse, which is all things AEW. I want to record another show, especially because now I'm on spring break, so maybe be on the lookout for that. I also have another show called the New Japan Takeover, where I talk about all things New Japan. That one's a little stagnant at the moment because things were just a little rough these last couple weeks, so I couldn't do a Battle of the Valley episode. And I just need to kind of get back into that rhythm of watching New Japan because it's been like 2 weeks and I still haven't watched anything, but I'm on spring break, so I'm going to catch up now and hopefully have like some sort of show to record hopefully soon. So just if you could be patient with me. But yeah, that's all I got going on. And Katie does the rest because she's the hostess.
And I'm going to hand it off. Katie, the reigning and defending Rivet City Radio Trivia Champion. Plug your stuff. Put yourself over.
You can follow me on Twitter at KatieRasson13. The link tree I'm about to get all things ShElite Showcase. Twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase. Typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish. YouTube.com/ShElite Showcase. Watch videos. They're way more entertaining. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts if you want to listen. ShElite Showcase is the show and it is the brand and the weekly show Savanna and I do. Inside the Mind of is an interview series I do. Both Will and Allison have been on. And spoiler, we already said it on Thursday, but Savanna will be the next one. We are filming it tomorrow.
Yay!
It'll be up next Monday. And there's a bunch of other shows. There will be a new vlog out too. I just really haven't felt motivated to edit it yet. So that'll be out in the next few days. It's about SmackDown and podcasts and stuff. You know. But we do a bunch of shit over there, so you all can go check it out. Oh, and I forgot, 10% off our merch store if you use the code ShElite.
Whoop.
Whoop.
Yay.
Woot woot.
Allison, plug yourself.
So, at some point this month, we will be, I don't know the date yet, so don't come at me for it. We will be launching the Boss Bitch Power Hour, where it will just be me and whatever lovely ladies and sometimes the Rack that I want to bring on. There will be no agenda. We will just literally bitch about whatever the fuck we want to. Wrestling, not wrestling, I don't care. I have also made it a season 3 goal that there will be a heel support group comic every single week. The day may vary, but it will happen every single week. Let's see, you can follow me on the tweeters and the tiki-taki at justagirl918. Finally made it to 1,000 followers. Whoop whoop. Go check out my awesome MJF pickle videos. There are 3 of them because I just couldn't not do it. Am I missing something? I don't fucking know.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so follow me, do the things. Yes.
The first round of shout-outs for season 3.
Yeah.
Botch Spots and Chair Shots couldn't do it. There's 3 specific groups of people. One is It's Creation World. That is MATTRIDDER, Matt Ritter, Smacking It Raw, Lord Cussalot, Travis Pointer, Mara DeShark Watkins, and SES Vince. Go follow all of those people. The Geeks and Noob Network, the Geeks and Noob Podcast, Super Beard, Vince Hoover, Jacksonville, Self Bet Wrestling, Dad Hat Wrestling, all the guys over at TGN. The Bloodline Entertainment Group, which is ran by the one and only Tim King. Go follow Dylan and Marcus at World Elite, Bakley at Cage My IQ, all of those people. You follow our biggest friends, Trina and Robert, a.k.a. Marine Ravage. Follow all my friends. Just follow everybody. We love everyone equally. Here at Botch Spots and Chair Shots, we don't yuck any yums. There's room at the table for everybody to eat. But now as we close another episode of Botch Spots and Chair Shots, I want to take a minute. Thank you for listening. Remind you to go wherever you do anything on the internet. Like, follow, subscribe, unsubscribe, then subscribe again. Leave a comment telling me how great I am or how terrible I sound. Either way, it helps the algorithm and it helps find new listeners. If you're feeling really generous and be one of the VIP people, head over to patreon.com and donate to the Rivet City Radio Podcast Network. You get some fantastic swag. We get some fantastic guests. It's a win-win for the Shaman of ShElite, Katie Wrestling 13, for Savanna Y2 Garcia, and the boss bitch, Miss Allison Siegel. I am the Will Gray. Thanks for stopping by and listening, my people.